Good morning, New Zealand. Welcome to the AM show. I'm Duncan Garner. Good to have you along this morning on 3. Magic talking online, 28 minutes past 6. The odds of a government-sanctioned contact tracing app taking a front and centre role in fighting COVID-19 appear to be dwindling. There had been plans for this, but oh no, too hard. Our Prime Minister had previously emphasised that she is sceptical about the usefulness of an app, and that pretty much probably ended it. For more on this, joining us now is Gorilla Technology CEO, futurist and two-camera shooter, Paul Spain. Paul, let's switch back to you there. Throw your fingers on your fancy buttons there, and good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you, Duncan?
Very, very good. Contact tracing, our best form of tracking. These apps, are they any good? And should we have some sort of government-sponsored one?
Look, there's a lot of benefit of using technology because it takes a bit of load off us. It allows collection of a lot of data if it's done well and it's done safely. And I've been chatting to a few people about this because lots of businesses out there are under pressure, Ministry of Health and from government directions to do contact tracing. And so I went to the front entrance of a restaurant to get some food the other night. They had me scribbling down my details and my home address and so on a bit of paper. And of course, we've heard about some of this information getting misused. So what I understand is that the industry, the technology industry, a number of companies are now trying to work together to define a standard because the government isn't giving them one. And so, we've got some stores that are being required or some organisations being required. Seems like a lot of retailers won't be required to collect information. It's sort of optional. So it does seem to be a bit of a shambles at the moment. And I really hope the government can just, finalise some really clear guidance and maybe get behind the tech companies that are trying to come up with a solution. And we need to be able to cater, not just to those with a smartphone. There are, people that don't have access to an app, but maybe a family member could print out a special code that would then be able to link back to a secure database and storage of people's details that can't get misused, as we heard had happened in the last day or so.
Yeah, no, it's not a pickup line. I mean, I know that Auckland woman was pretty shaken after that North Shore restaurant worker misused her details to make numerous approaches to her. That's not what it's about. Just very, very quickly, for the Trans-Tasman bubble to go ahead, you'd have to have a decent app like this underway, I would have thought.
Well, I would have thought that would be the smart move, but we're just not hearing that. I mean, Australia have had their app out now for probably, it must be around a couple of weeks or near to it, and we're not seeing that there's going to be any sort of standard for contact tracing between New Zealand and Australia. So, look, I hope that this can be closed up pretty quickly because it's good for everyone having this, safety available. And right now, New Zealand it looks as though we're disorganised. And look, I understand it's a challenge. Everything's moving at pace, but a decision is needed now. There needs to be clarity. Businesses are opening up a lot more on Thursday, and everyone needs to know what to do. And still, the technology providers can't even get some clarity.
We've got to catch up. We've got to be there. Hey, good stuff, Paul. Always appreciate your time. Keep calm and carry on, as the message says. Gorilla Technology CEO and futurist Paul Spain. Just